Yeah, like when you're craving and you don't know what your body needs. Like, do you have like an example?
When you first start realizing that you're having cravings instead of biological hunger,
Mm-hmm.
hunger is different than cravings. Cravings will
Mm-hmm.
come up and it will nag you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your body is a 2-year-old in a grocery store that wants that candy bar and they're too tired, so they start having a fit in the middle of the grocery store.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Yerhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, on today's episode, we have Shelly, and I can't wait for her to share what she does and tell you all about how she helps so many people. So, Shelly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Shelly Besancon, and I am a weight loss coach. I love to help women lose weight for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to help them to learn to love their bodies and love them so much that they will never
Yep.
abuse them again and never feed them bad things again. And I love to help them fall in love with themselves.
That's really amazing, and I love how you say, lose weight for the last time. Because like I like to look at it as you're not going on a diet. You're changing your way of life, and you're just going to continue on this path to take care of your body.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of mind work to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and
It does.
it is one of the biggest parts of this is learning to feel all the emotions. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
eating your emotions and you're not trying to stuff down your emotions.
Yep.
And that is the biggest part. And that's how I was able to finally get off the yo-yo diet culture
Mm-hmm.
is in 2019, I decided to really research why I was not able to have that sustainable weight loss. And when I decided to dive into it deeper and understand my body, that's when I was able to lose the weight and keep it off. And
Mm-hmm.
I lost 65 pounds and I have kept it off since then.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
And
it's been a fun journey.
mm-hmm. So when you're working with your clients, then is kind of the first thing you start with is m- mindset.
Well, we first look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like I want
Okay.
to get a baseline of where you are. What are you doing
Yep.
now that is not working? What have you tried in the past? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of women will go, well, I lost weight on this diet, so I'm going to go back and do it again. And the problem with that is if it should have worked in the first place, it would have worked and kept it off.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But if you keep going back to something that was not sustainable and you didn't
Mm-hmm.
learn from it, it's never going to work again. Um, Years ago, I had went on a calorie restrictive counting calories. I was like very particular on counting every single calorie I ate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, I'll go back and do that again. It doesn't work because all calories are not created equal.
Nope. Nope.
And our bodies change as we grow. But if we understand the dynamics of how our bodies work, where when we feed our bodies, we have hormones in our bodies that react to that food. And
Mm-hmm.
we treat it, it's kind of like insulin is kind of like a bully.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly feeding it the sugar. So we're always picking on it. It's like, oh, here, oh, you're going to have a fit. Here, have some more sugar because you're having a
Mm-hmm.
fit. So we keep
Yep.
feeding it. And people are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, I can't, I'm starving. I can't stop eating. And the problem is we keep telling ourselves that we can't stop eating.
Yep. Exactly.
So we don't stop eating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And
The way I like to look at it is when I eat, I'm fueling my body. So when you eat, you should ask yourself, what does my body need? Not what does it want, because, I want ice cream, I want cookies, I want cake. That's not going to fuel your body. That's only going to take away your energy. So it's always good to eat stuff that's going to give you energy throughout your day, not just, something to eat and get full.
Well, exactly. Exactly. And a lot of times, from the time we're little, we are taught to feed our emotions.
No, oh yeah. Mhm.
Even when we are being babies and we're nursed.
Mhm.
It's like we start crying, mom puts us to the breast. And it's
Yep.
like, "Oh, here you're upset. Here, let's eat."
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
we're also taught with we celebrate with food. So,
Mhm.
oh, it's your birthday. Let's load up with sugar, cake, and ice cream and all the goodies.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
if you're sad, here, let's go have ice cream. Let's go have cake.
Yep.
Let's go have cookies. Let's go get drunk. Let's go,
Mhm.
feed those emotions so we don't have to feel them.
Yeah.
And
Or
so
it's
we don't
like,
know that.
hey, it's a holiday. Let's all get together and eat as much as we can. Yeah, it's sad how we are all raised, and like I love holidays, but it's like now I gotta pick and choose what I eat, and especially how much I eat. I think that's bigger than what you eat. Would you agree with that?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do need that little sweet treat, but
Oh yeah.
just a
Yeah.
little sweet treat.
Just a little
But
one.
when
Yeah.
we get together, like for Thanksgiving, we
Mhm.
are feeding our bodies so much food, and we're not listening to when our body says, "Hey, stop. You need to stop
Mhm.
eating." And so when we eat our food, the insulin, its job is to rise with the food that we eat.
Mhm.
That's its job. But the problem is we don't let insulin go back down and rest. So we have
Mhm.
two other hormones that hardly ever come online. So most people do not know what it even feels like to be truly hungry.
Mhm.
And that is when your hormone ghrelin comes on and says, "Hey, I'm hungry." But it's not like a craving. It will come up and just come up a little bit and say, "Hey, when you're ready, I would love some food down here." And
Mhm.
then, but it will not bug you.
Yep.
And then
So.
leptin is your other hormone that hardly ever it is blocked at the brain when we have
Mhm.
too much insulin in our body. And so when it
Okay.
is blocked, it doesn't come up and say you're full. So we don't
Mhm.
know when we're full. So it's like we can eat a ton of food and think, "Wow, I'm still starving. I feel like I
Mhm.
can eat so much food, but I'm so bloated. I'm so full." And that's because leptin doesn't have a chance to come online and say, "You need to stop eating." So
Yeah.
we have to take control of our emotions and go, "Okay, what do I really need? Do I need to go
Mhm.
for a walk? Do I need a hug?"
Mhm.
But we're taught to entertain with food.
Yep. And do you think that fasting is good to help with this?
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Fasting is something that we naturally do anyway.
Mhm.
And a lot of the stuff that has been going out there, I see a lot of women where they think that they have to fast for days on end every week.
Mm-mm.
And that's
No.
actually not healthy.
Mm-mm.
It
No.
is not sustainable. You're basically putting your body into a stress mode where
Mm.
it starts to freak out. And it's like, "Oh my
Mhm.
God, we're going to die." So it starts to take everything that you eat and it hoards it. And it'll
Mhm.
start creating its own glucose in order to survive. So you can actually
Yeah.
gain weight when you start to starve yourself. And
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
if you're going to intermittent fast, which intermittent fasting just
Mhm.
means stop, start, stop, start.
Yeah.
And a lot of women will put it to the extreme. So it's like, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I did my first 28 hour fast. I did my first 48 hour." And they beat themselves up if they don't make it to that goal. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that you want your body to feel safe, that it's going to be taken care of. And so when
Yeah.
we love our bodies so much, it's like, oh, you're hungry. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm truly hungry, and to be able to sit in that feeling that you are truly hungry and biologically hungry, then you can feed your body and just sit in that comfort. And it's like, okay, this is what hunger feels like. And then when
Mm-hmm.
you feed your body, you feel your body respond to that food. And when
Yeah.
your body responds, then it'll say, okay, I've had enough. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And then you can
Yeah.
stop and go, wow, now I have energy. So then you stop eating in between meals and
Mm-hmm.
let your body process that food.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes that food and moves it back into your body and moves it and makes energy. So if you are feeling um, energetic about an hour after you eat, you've eaten enough food. And then you have sustainable
Mm-hmm.
energy. But we don't get enough protein. We don't feed ourselves.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the culture, don't eat carbs, cut them out of your body. No, we need carbs.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't need the bread carbs. We don't need the pasta carbs. We
Yeah.
do need carbs. Our body needs them. We
Mm-hmm.
need fiber. We need fat.
Mm-hmm.
The low fat culture, that was what caused so much obesity in this country,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Yep.
took the fat out, and the fat is like throwing gasoline on a fire. You
Mm-hmm.
start adding fat back into your life, in your body, and it's like, oh, okay, I know what to do with this, but I don't know what to do with all the sugar you're feeding me. So
Mm-hmm.
when they took fat out of the diets, they had to replace it with sugar to get flavor
Mm-hmm.
back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that caused
sugar
our
is
insulin.
terrible. Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to take something out of its natural form to make it into the processed foods, your body doesn't know what to do with that.
No.
And so it goes
No.
into a state of confusion, and it has to work extra hard to try to sort out any nutrients that might be
Mm-hmm.
in that.
Yeah, and like when I eat, like, or when I go shopping for food, I say, all right, if it doesn't grow, I'm not going to eat it. That's kind of that
Exactly.
simple. Like, if it doesn't grow on its own, don't eat it.
Yes. I tell people, if it grows, eat it. If it has a mother, you can eat it.
Yep, there you go. Yeah. And then,
Not humans, but you know what I mean.
well, yeah, exactly. And then, my health coach, told me, he's like, when you go to the supermarket, stay on the outside of the store. Don't go in the center. And I was like, what? What do you mean? And then the next time I went there, I was like, oh, all the healthy stuff is, the fruits, vegetables, meats are all on the outside. Everything in the middle, you don't want to eat it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was just surprised that they're
Exactly.
all like that.
Every single one of them. Yeah, that is
Mm-hmm.
something that I have all my clients do too.
Mm-hmm.
And and they are so frustrated by the so much knowledge that is out there,
Yeah.
that they don't know what
'Cause,
to do. But
mm-mm.
they don't teach you, most diets, they don't teach you to understand why you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you needing that food right now?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, even with cravings, they don't teach you about cravings.
So, could you give us an example on that?
On cravings,
Yeah, like when you're craving and you don't know what your body needs. Like, do you have like an example?
when you first start realizing that you're having cravings instead of biological hunger,
Mm-hmm.
hunger is different than cravings. Cravings will
Mm-hmm.
come up and it will nag you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your body is a 2-year-old in a grocery store that wants that candy bar, and they're too tired, so they start having a fit in the middle of the grocery store.
Yeah.
And it starts to scream and rant and rave, and you're just like, that's all you can feel, that's all you can, it's like it will come up, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just this hormonal party inside of you that is throwing basically a 2-year-old tantrum.
Yeah.
And the only way to get rid of those cravings is to not feed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you were to give your 2-year-old that candy bar when he's having a fit, he's going to realize that it's like, oh, if I go into the store and I have a fit again, I'm going to get that candy bar. So you get
Exactly.
that candy bar, and then each time it'll get worse. And then if you don't give it to them, they'll have a bigger tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
So when you
Yep.
have that feeling that you feel like you're going to die if you don't have something, and you will not die.
No.
It is a chemical response in your body. It is just a feeling. And if you can stop and go, okay, what is it that I really need? And just sit and be observant of that feeling, and do not give it food. Do not give it the, you know, the craving that you have. If you are craving specific things, that is a craving and it's not true hunger. Your body
No.
does not need food. So
No.
you have to go through a withdrawal. You have to, it's an addiction, and you have created your body to have that addiction. You can do some things that helps with it. Drinking lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
Always drink enough water. A lot of people will not drink water because they don't like to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, you have to let the energy flow through your body. You have to let the water pull out toxins. You have to let the body the water cleanse your body. And
Yep.
if you're not doing that, then you're just letting everything get stagnant inside. But if you drink enough water, you can drink some bone broth if you have really bad cravings, because they will. It is a chemical response in your body. It is a hard sensation for some.
Yep.
And if you can drink bone broth, that gives you enough. That'll kind of ease the cravings.
Mm-hmm.
But eating enough protein at your meals. You have to eat enough protein. Eat proteins and fat at your meal, which will help you feel satiated longer.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can do that in between meals, then you cannot have to snack between meals. And you don't want to snack between meals, because then you're letting your body process that full meal, and then it will notify you when it's hungry again. And so getting comfortable with the feeling of understanding that, okay, this is a craving. This is true hunger. That's when you take back control of your whole body. Like, I don't need to eat for entertainment. You can go out to dinner with friends and not be hungry and just say no. Like, oh, I'm not eating. I'm not hungry.
Yep.
And a lot of people, oh, we're going out to dinner. Ugh, I'm not even hungry, but I guess I have to eat. And that teaches our body that we're not in control.
Yep. I agree. And I remember the first time I did a 24-hour fast, and like it was hard. Like, I'm not gonna say it wasn't hard, but then after I did it like three or four times, now I I prefer that. Like, I'd rather just eat once a day, and that's it, because I have more energy. I sleep a lot better, and hey, if you're only eating once a day, you save money on food.
Yeah, and each person is different too. Some people do well on one meal a day. Some people need to have smaller meals throughout the day. That's why you can't follow one specific diet.
No, that's why people need to reach out to you and talk to you, so you can help them figure out exactly what they need.
Exactly, because it's creating a custom diet for you,
Yeah, not
and
for
learning how
everyone.
to understand your body.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is, such an important thing. And for the people listening, I've gone through this myself. I have a health coach, and once you start, like, yes, at the beginning it's difficult, but it's not like the hardest thing you're gonna do. It's not that hard, but you will figure out, like, hey, there's a lot of really good food that I can eat. A lot of people think, oh, I can't eat the good tasting food. Yes, you can. And another thing is, like, once you start this, it's only going to take like a day or two before you start to feel better. Your whole body will feel better. And if you're someone like me, where you have aches and pains constantly, those aches and pains reduce significantly. It is absolutely amazing.
When you eliminate the sugar products
Mm.
out of your life, which is also like flour and alcohol. They
Mhm.
create extra glucose and sugar in your body. And when you
Mhm.
eliminate those, oh, the aches and pains, they are minimized drastically.
Yep. There are. Yep. All right. So, how can people reach out to you?
Well, I'm most active on Facebook. I have a free weight loss group called Women Winning at Weight Loss. And
Awesome.
we do a lot of fun different things in there. I do Zoom calls once a month to have Q&As. I'm going to be having a whole bunch of guest stars come on that specialize in different kinds of ways of losing weight.
That's
Different,
exciting.
it's like just learning different things. It's
Mhm.
learning how to dive into the emotional part of it and being okay that we have emotions.
Mhm.
Teaching them intermittent fasting that works specifically for the individual,
Yeah.
and learning different breathing exercises, learning, what foods will work for you and what ones you should avoid.
Mhm.
Sometimes your body says no on certain foods and you may love
Mhm.
them, but your body says no. So it's learning to listen to that. But yeah, I'm most active on Facebook, and
Awesome.
I do email, and I am working on my webpage now, but for the most
Okay.
part, it's on Facebook.
Awesome. Awesome. So I gotta ask you, because I ask every guest, what does my slogan, "Your abilities are infinite," mean to you?
Mm, you are infinite.
Your
That
abilities are infinite.
your abilities are infinite. That I would say that you have control of your
Mm.
abilities. You have, if you take ownership of all of you, your emotions, your abilities to do things, how you talk to yourself,
Mhm.
that's your greatest power. That's a superpower.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, that's a
agree.
superpower.
I agree. Thank you. And then, do you have any last words of wisdom?
Don't be so hard on yourself. You can't
Mm.
hate yourself thin. You can't beat yourself up enough to make you lose weight. Look
Mhm.
in the mirror and love that body. You were born with this amazing, beautiful vessel that you
Yep.
get to drive throughout your life.
Mhm.
Fall in love with it.
And then take care of it. All right. Thank you so much. This was really, really great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me in the Nick Yerhart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.